welcome back to Blue Ridge Homestead. Today we're going to be picking some green beans. This particular variety, I was given a packet of seed by a cousin of mine, and he said it's the best beans you'll ever eat. Wanted me to try them, so we're going to get into picking them here in just a minute. All right, like saying, these are called Capitano Romano green beans, and he got a pack of seed for me. This is the only beans he grows. He likes them that well. When they're ripe, they'll turn a bright yellow, greenish color, and they get fairly substantial in size and thickness. We'll pick a few today. You can probably see the plants have got quite a few beans on them, so we'll pick some today. Some of them are small, like these little fellas here. They're way too small to pick, so we'll obviously give them probably 3 or 4 days. But from what I can tell, these are a stringless bean. There's no string at all on them. A fairly crisp bean, and a very sweet bean too. If you spray pesticides on your plants, I would not do what I'm doing now and eat them right out of the garden. If you spray organic pesticides, I wouldn't do that either, unless it's been 4 or 5 days, or you've had a good rainfall, because that tends to wash off organic pesticides. Yeah, these are really sweet. Like I said, they're Capitano Romano beans. I want to say they come from like a Traditions, maybe something Traditions seed catalog, something like that. I'll put the description on the video. So we're going to pick a few, and when you pick a bean, what I like to do is I'll get the plant. I don't like to just rip them off the plant because you do so much damage. And if you see here, there's a lot of blooms still on this plant. Even up in the top there's blooms. There's little beans right here and here that in a week you're going to have another crop. So you don't want to do a whole lot of damage to your beans. You really want to take care of your plants. So once we get done picking these beans, we're going to go ahead and water them and let them rest for 3 or 4 days. But I like to hold the plant and pull the beans straight off so that I pull a minimal amount of the plant as possible. Those are some pretty good beans. They're finger length, longer than that. They're big fat beans too. So generally at the bottom of your plant will be your biggest beans. That's where the blooms came from first, and that's where you'll have the biggest, most mature beans. But once you start picking your beans, like I was saying, you can do it with one hand. You just pinch. Let me get this weed out of the way. You pinch right here and you use the other fingers to pull out. Pull out while you push out like that, and it'll just pop it straight off, and it doesn't do any damage to your plants. Now, these beans, you know, were grown organic fertilized and organic pest control as well. So we don't generally use anything that is chemically based. Try to keep it all organic. So it would have to get pretty bad for us not to go that route. So we'll go ahead and pick these, and we'll catch you when we're breaking them and getting ready to cook them. them with cold water. Alright, so we're going to wash these in cold water. Just give them a good toss around in there. I went ahead and pulled the onion, a little onion early. I'm going to have that with our beans. I got a really pretty color to these beans. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to break the tips off, just like so. Leave the beans like that, and once I get done with a few of them, I'll show you how I'm going to cook them. Alright, so I've put a little splash of olive oil into the pan, turn the heat on about medium heat. I'll wait till it gets good and warm. Turn it up about 3/4 actually. Take that small onion I got out of the garden, cut it into thirds, cut each half into thirds rather. Let's make a good little snack, a side, however you want to do it. So once the olive oil gets good and warm, all we've done with these beans is wash them and cut the tips of them off, both ends, or break them off actually. So like I said, they're very good beans. So as soon as this warms up, we'll be right back with you. Onions, and I've kind of broke them down, and the beans, they're all going to go in there at the same time, right in there with that olive oil. Taking some garlic powder, not too much, a little dash, and some of this spicy pepper blend we made last year here on our homestead. Just a little touch of that too. Then we're going to cover it up just a few minutes. You want to stir this kind of frequently so the beans don't burn. Get them kind of wilted just a tad. You can turn your heat down some. Alright, these have been sauteing for about probably 6-7 minutes now. I did put a little more olive oil in them. They did get a little dry. You can also use butter with this, and you don't have to use spicy pepper. You can just use salt, pepper, garlic, whatever you like. You can do it plain if you just want them butter flavor. But you come in here and take a look at these, you'll see that the seasoning has stuck to the beans, so every bite you get is going to be super flavorful. So we'll go ahead and set that down. We'll turn this off. We're going to go right back in the same bowl we dumped them out of. So just dump them out. And a cast iron skillet, in my opinion, is the only way to cook. I love cast iron taste. Good flavor. Put a little iron into your food each time you use it, and that's a vital nutrient for us. So put that there. And yes, you can use cast iron on a flat top stove. You just have to be careful. So here's these beans and onions. That's what they look like. And take them over here, have a little taste test. A little taste test here. Overall, they look really good. Got a little oil in the bottom. We'll just grab one up here. They're still pretty hot. Looks like they still kept their snappiness. Oh yeah, that brings the sugar out of those beans. Really, really good. Got a little spiciness from the peppers. Taste a little bit of the garlic. The onions that we cooked, they're good. They're not totally done, not slimy or anything like that. Overall, a good snack. Fresh from the garden. These ain't been picked 15 minutes. I would say they'll make a good side, and I would venture to guess most kids would eat them. They are that sweet. Like I said, there's Capitano Romano beans. I think we'll do this. This might be a regular with some fresh green beans. Yeah, very good. Very impressed with those beans. So that about wraps it up for this video. This is Lewis and Sally for Blue Ridge Homestead. Y'all come join us on Instagram. You're on our YouTube already, so you might as well subscribe. Click that like button. And we have a Facebook group, so please join us there as well. Until next time, Lewis and Sally, Blue Ridge Homestead. Come grow with us.